Our next speaker comes to us from Neurosoft Bioelectronics, Ludovic Serex. Title of the talk, A Soft and Stretchable Implantable Electrodes to Interface with the Human Brain.
Hi, thank you very much for all being here. It's really a pleasure for me to be able to present our company here at TechBlick. So yeah, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Neurosoft Bioelectronics, and basically we are a startup spinning off from EPFL, and we are a medical company that is developing neural implants. So a slide that I like to show is just to make everybody on the same page. What is a neural implant? So a neural implant is a medical device that is meant to be implanted at the surface of the brain or the central nervous system or peripheral system in order to record or stimulate the neural inputs. And these kind of devices have been used already multiple times in order to treat severe neurological diseases, such as, you may know, Parkinson's disease with the deep brain stimulation system, chronic pain also on the spinal cord, and also epilepsy with neuropace, for examples. However, most of these therapies are done with electrodes that have been developed 20 years ago. And basically, they have a lot of problems. So these technology are rigid discs of platinum, for example, or metals that are embedded into rigid silicone. And to implant these electrodes, you need very complex surgical procedure with highly specialized professionals, such as surgeons in medical centers. And also, these procedures have a high risk because you need to, for example, to implant onto the brain, you need to open the cranium, and this is a very traumatic procedure that can lead to problems and complications to the patient. And also, these electrodes are very limited in terms of resolution that they can have just because of how they're manufactured. Now, there is also another issue that you can see on the right here. So basically, it's an implantation onto a monkey, and it's one of these rigid electrodes that are currently used in the clinic. And just after 6 months, when you explant it, there is a huge tissue that has been built around by the body as a foreign body reaction, and this effectively shields the electrode from the brain, and you cannot stimulate anymore or record anymore with this kind of electrodes, which impedes a lot the therapy itself and the use of these electrodes. And all of these risks that I've been talking about are very hard to mitigate with current technology. So what we do at Neurosoft is basically to develop an electrode that is very, very soft, very stretchable, and also that is much more dense than what can be used, that what is done now. And this allows for precise stimulation and also lower surgical risks. So basically, you have less risk of damaging blood vessels when you implant these kind of electrodes, and you have a higher surgical access. You can access part of the brain that was not possible before, such as the sulci, for example. And all of this, we do that with electrodes that are 100 times smaller in terms of feature size, and also 1,000 times softer than anything that is available in the clinic right now. The other huge advantage that we can have with this kind of electrodes, thanks to their softness and basically stretchability, is that we can also reduce the risk of the surgery itself by basically doing only a small burr into the cranium and then deploy this electrode at the surface of the brain through minimally invasive procedures. So the technology itself, basically, we are very fortunate to use materials that have been used in the medical industry for a long, long time, which is basically PDMS. It's a silicone that have been used in many, many devices. However, we process it in a very different way. We use blade coating and gold evaporations, for example, which are processes that have been borrowed from the silicone industry to allow us to process these materials in a very different manner to manufacture these devices. And we also work on wafer scales, which basically reduce manual labor and increase the precision at the same time. And so basically we can do better electrodes for the same price as before, which is very